on this part, we're going to implement the user object, like get the guild informations and sort of stuff. Before going to that part, guys, I just want to quickly, I did some search, and yeah, it turned out to be that. And if you want to change your port, there are some information on that. I'll leave the link down below if you're running on other ports and sort of stuff, so you can do that too. So let's go back to the documents real quick on the user. Let me scroll down. So get current user guild and returns the list of partial guild object. Okay, yeah, cool. So this will be an array object that will return from this. So let's go ahead and implement that. So obviously we have returned here this. We'll come and return that and test our new method that we're just about to implement. So let's comment first and say get user current guild. So we're gonna try to get a user current guild, and let's do static method. Define a function that we get user current guild, and it will take access token. And yeah, let's do the endpoints for that too. Just to save some time, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this bit because it's the same kind of, and just modify this. So in here, we're going to say user guild object, and we're going to modify this bit now. So let's go ahead and look at so it's just at the end we're going to add this guilds because that's what we're requesting, and everything will stay same, and this one will change to, we're going to return this variable. So this is all been stored, and then use object, and that goes for this part. So let's hit save. Let's go to a part real quick. And now we're gonna do the same like we did for the previous one, basically. So yeah, let's do that. User guild object. I'm thinking I'm just gonna put this up right now for now, so that it's all together, and then I know which one I'm returning later for render. Just for visibility. And then we'll say this got oath dot, and then call that method get user current, and then pass in the access token here, basically. Makes sense, guys? And let's take a look actually what it returns. I'm probably gonna get rid of this and do user guild object. Oops. Actually, I don't even have to do string literals, but anyway, as I put it user guild object, and then basically save all. Let's run. Let's go here and do local host, login 5000. So this is the, and yeah, authorize. Fine, good. So that's an array object. So with all of my name of my service and ID and all this information that they just mentioned, that this will respond to it. So fine, yeah, that worked too. So I'll go ahead and stop that. And now I want to render both the information that I want to do. But before that, I'm also thinking that, and I think I'm going to render all of the information that I need. So I need the avatar of the user, and then basically, avatar, and the icons for all the guilds. So let's have a look what they have in here for the user. So user avatar is a type of image data if past modified the user. Okay, let's go ahead and open this. Let's take a look. So there are CDN endpoints for all of this. Okay, so we are looking for user, custom emoji guild banner application. Okay, there you go. User. Well, I need image formatting. So base URL CDN is this. And then we have to pass in at the end. So user avatar, there you go. My eyes are getting bad. Avatar's user ID. So it takes user ID and then user avatar.png. So user avatar.png. Right. Cool. Okay, example of user avatar. Okay, so they will send us something like this when we get the user avatar. And then basically what we have to do, we have to modify that like this so that when we render that, we can get the image. So yeah, we can do that too. I guess that applies for the guild icon too. So guild icon takes guild ID, guild icon.png. Right, okay. I'll worry about the guilds later because I have to iterate through the array object and get each of the icons. And I can do that on the HTML where, you will see in that part. So let's do this one real quick. So I guess I can modify here. So first thing first, ID. And then I guess avatar, which is the hash-like object, and username, user tag. So that's fine. So I will do the same here. So let me just copy and paste a couple of, so two more. So just before that, so one for ID and one for avatar. Perfect. Right. Let me just close this because the screen will. Right. Yeah. So and then I'll push enter here so that I can see what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Let's render it, and we're gonna use the render templates over here. So I'm just gonna get rid of this. Right, and then do render template. And gonna render it to dashboard.html because that's where our stuff will go. Dashboard.html, comma, and then so basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna store this into a render object and basically call that to our HTML file. So I'm gonna create some new variables. I call it render user underscore avatar. And let's quickly do this because I know that I have to format this correctly. So if I go back here and I go here, so I'll get this part because I know that it's required, right? And then the first thing it takes is the ID. So let's just call that ID here. So that ID, and then slash, and then it takes the avatar. So let's call the avatar here. And then .png. So that's the format they've been asking for. Coolio. So I'll come. And then next one, I will call this one render username. So because obviously we're going to take that username that like we did before. So we're basically gonna do that. Sorry, let's do extremely tools. So username hash and then user tag. Perfect. And last but not least is the guild object. So basically the one we're gonna later use in our HTML file in order to get the access to all the names and the icons, right? So we're not gonna do this yet, do that on the dashboard. That's my initial kind of experiment. And that render guild is equal to user guild object. Perfecto. So yeah, that should be fine. Right. So I think this is so far I planned. I'm not gonna do any more work. But like I said, guys, when you add a new kind of a scope, make sure to modify your scope here. And then basically based on that, whatever they have asked or provided in their documentation, you have to request for that particular thing so that you can pass through the information or you can get your information that you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now back to not back, but moved towards the HTML and CSS. So basically most of the template rendering and the front end bit. So I'm going to quickly open the layout. So layout is going to be like, let me just give you a quick example what's going to happen here. If you ever used EGS, embedded JavaScript, where you can embed your JavaScript code while you're doing your HTML files, it's the same thing like that in Flask too. You can do stuff like that. This is just for a generic example, to be honest. Like at this point, whatever is coming tip of my tongue, I'm just throwing it. So yeah. So I'm going to have like a template here where we're going to have all our CDNs and stuff like that, like Bootstrap. And within that layout of the body, what's going to happen is that if we add any more, like after a dashboard, there could be another one, there could be another HTML file, which has a different route. So within that body, it's going to get rendered and changed so that your layout gets stayed there. So that's all. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to put also the links for Bootstrap CDNs. So if you go on Bootstrap side and go to getting started, and yeah, and you look here, we're gonna take some of the CDNs. So it's basically it's like we did in Python, like imported some of the files. So you're gonna import those components to your file, to your piece of code, and then basically get to use them. And then some of the jQuery also we're gonna use them. So don't worry about it. Like I said, yeah, let's do that while we are here. Right, so I'm going to start with head, and let's see, these are required metadata, right? These are required metadata. Let's comment this out so I know that's for my reference. Oops, not too much, buddy. So yeah, UTF-8, and then I'm gonna set some views here, basically. Name is equal to, and then view code, and then content is equal to the width of the device. That's fine, comma, and then initial scale equals to 1. and shrink to fit. Equals no, I guess. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. That shouldn't be. Should be fine. Close the tag. Guys, if you don't like typing it like I'm doing it, I'm just doing it just in case if you're following me and you want to type those in. If you're not, then go ahead, go to my repository and copy them out. I mean, that would be much easier. Equip equals to then x-ua compatible. Compatible. That's fine. And then content is equal to okay. And then basically title. Yeah, compatible. And title is equal to Discord dashboard. Yeah, that goes for the head so far. And then basically let's import the Bootstrap, right? So I'm gonna call that Bootstrap core CSS. And let's comment that out. But I'm not sure why it's going this way. I want it to be like this. Maybe. Cool. Yeah, perfect. That's nice. And let's get the link, right? So, link. Okay, I know. Link and href. And then style sheet. So let's go ahead and get the link. Let's copy it from here and go back to the code. Paste it here. Perfect. So that goes for the Bootstrap. And now we're gonna do, let me just quickly copy this so I can save some time. And this goes for the custom CSS that we're gonna write. And that's the /static/ so it's under static and then style.css. Cool. So that goes completed the head section. And now to the body. Right. And for the body, I'm gonna do block, and which is gonna do include the includes file, so includes /navbar. So I'm gonna include the navbar on the .html, and within the container here, I'm going to take a div class, and this class will call container. So and within there I'm gonna set the the body block, basically where it actually is the stuff that are gonna render. So block body, and basically there's gonna be end block. So end block. So that's, and that goes for the end block. And now we're going to insert all our Bootstrap JS library in the jQuery CDN. And right here, so all the CDN goes here. I'm going to push enter, and I'm just going to comment this section now just for the readability. Bootstrap S. And again, it does that. I like it. Let's go down. And let's get all the script files. So we're gonna, I guess, take 3 of them here. So I'm gonna duplicate them. 1, 2, 3, 3 of them. So it's Control D to duplicate. And let's get the URL. So first the URL, I'm gonna type that in. But you can go and look into search in there, whichever you kind of want. So code.jquery.com /j jQuery dash 1.12. And .js. Sorry guys, I'm just carefully typing it, so just in case don't want anything to go wrong. So I'm just going to copy this first line right here, paste it there, and then type in jQuery dash rate dash 1.2.1.min.js. Yeah, so I used to use them quite some time ago, and when I was kind of experimenting with that, these templates work perfectly, so I'm just sticking to it. So whatever works for you, go ahead and try, but if you want to stick to mine, that's perfectly fine. So these are the JavaScript CDN, so let's just copy this one. And let's go back here. Cool. So I guess this layout section is perfectly fine now. We will see if there's any error I made, and then I'll probably let you know also the corrections too. But again, you can quickly, if you want to do this, then just copy and paste from my GitHub repository, and you should be good. So let's go to the next one, which is like, we'll do the first nav bar, and then we will start working, because the majority of the work is going to be on the dashboard or HTML. So let's get the nav bar out of the way, basically. On nav bar, with navigation bar, we are just pulling. We don't need this. So we are just going to pull the avatar of the user and the username and with the tag. So that's what we are planning on. So let's take a nav here, and let's give it a class equals, and then nav bar dash default. So this is Bootstrap nav bar, and Yeah, let's go in there and take a div class. I'm gonna call this class container. And within the container, I'm gonna take the div class header. I think I should install some plugin. I'm sure they made. I'm not sure the open source one has some plugins, but I do know that WebStorm has some plugins to automatically fill those information in. But anyway, just thinking off my head. Navbar header, and then we're gonna do anchor tag. And then I'm gonna set the class. Oops. Set the class equals image responsive. And I'm gonna set the inline styling for this one. Just for these tags, I think I'm gonna set the style here. Other than rest of all the styling would be in CSS. Display inline block. Then height. Height is 30 pixel. And margin set to top. And then 5 pixel. So there's just sticks around the bar, like a profile picture, kind of like that thing. So margin top 5 pixel, that's fine. And over here on the source, we're gonna render the profile avatar. So it's gonna be, so this, I believe we called it render user avatar. So that's the one. Perfect. And then we can push enter here, and then we're gonna, next to it, we're gonna set the username and tag. So let's have a look and render username. Copy and paste here. Perfect. So that's so far for the, so I'm just gonna double check here. So we've got the, like a space here. So we've got the nav class and then div class, and then within another div got the, that should be fine. Just double checking if I have made a mistake. Let's go ahead and save all. So that's two simple things out of the way. Now we can move to our dashboard, which is like the large portion of it, basically. And let's begin that. Let's get rid of this stuff, we don't need it, and let's include our nav bar. Sorry, it extends our layout, and then basically start our body start, and then end of the block of the body, and then end of the block body, basically where we can actually do our HTML stuff. So and sorry, let's do the percentage, and then extends layout.html, and we're gonna start the block here. Oops. And we're gonna do block body and this is gonna be end block. Perfecto. And within there, all our stuff. So let's start with the section first. And let's give this section an ID of a main, because then we can target with our CSS. Oops, you misunderstood me here. Perfect. Section, and then let me just push this a little bit because to go indented as I go. And then basically take a div class. Let's call this class row. And within that row, we're gonna call this container. This container first, and then row. Div dot. Oh, it's not gonna do that, is it? Okay. Div class, and then row. And within the row, we're gonna call the column mid-size, the column MD9, basically in here, the Bootstrap class. And within here, we're gonna call the panel. So let's take a look. Oh, I think I've shot the Bootstrap document. Let's take a look. Bootstrap 3.7. I just want to make sure that I'm going in the right direction here. It's taking a little longer. Components. And panels. Yeah, panel default. Yeah, that should be fine. I'll be fine. So, div. Class equal to panel dash default call and there's a offset set 3. Let's go down again. And then take a header 3 and let's set the class for that. Panel type, so that's going to be title. And let's say please select a server. Cool. And then out of that, we're gonna call for another another of the div class bodies, which is basically, this is gonna be the title, and underneath the title of the panel. So there's the title and the content basically in there. So let's do that. Panel dash body. And then You're gonna take a while. Something like basically within there is something like this. So basically, so all the information are basically, when we look through each of the information, should be reduced that way. Yeah, that should be fine. So now let's start our loop. So this is an object, guild, render guild. So user guild object. So I need to copy that and iterate through each of the items. For guild name, I guess for guild I can call it. For guilds, yeah. For guilds in render guild. And there's this loop. We're gonna set up the end of the loop real quick here. And 4. So this is the start of the loop, and that's the end of the loop. And within there, I'm gonna take a h4 tag. And let's get the image first, so all the icons, and then followed by the guild name. So we're gonna call each element from the loop, from the array object. Basically, that's the plan here. Responsive, and I'm gonna do inline styling for just for the images, and I think I'm gonna set how I set up for the layout, not for the layout. Nav bar, similar size. So let's get that. Perfect. And now after the style, now on the source where we can actually design the URL for the request, including the loop, including the loop itself. So yeah, let's just take a look at the URL real quick. CD, we know this is the CD endpoint, so base URL. So let's copy that and go back here and paste it. Let's come back, and we're looking for guild icons. So guild icon slash guild ID slash guild icons.png. I'm assuming that will also return value like this. Hence, we can do this. Let's go back. Icons slash, and then gonna get that object. So basically guild, I think I called it guilds in render guild. So just gonna call it guild. So guild for guild in render guilds, so let's call that guild here, and let's call the ID. So first I'm gonna get the index ID from there, and then once we have that, we're also gonna get the icons. So basically, just to confirm, yeah, guild icon.png. So that's the one. That's the way we're gonna format this. So again, guild, then icon, and then at the end of it, we're gonna say .png. Perfect. That should do it. And then basically I want all the names of the guild here after that. So right here, I want all the names. So let's get that. So guild and then name. Cool. And then the bonds. Obviously the bond hasn't got anything yet, but obviously if you design something later on, then for you that could be useful, I guess. But I can just show here, that's the thing I can do. So I'm gonna use a Bootstrap bond anyway. So type equals button, then class equals btn dash success. I believe so. That's the green button that you've seen on the demo. I think they call that basic examples buttons drop down. Yeah. So I think they say green one is a success one. So anyway, just to confirm. And then I'm gonna pull that to the right hand side, so it has to be all the way there. Pull right. And gonna say go to dash. So go to dashboard for each. Feel whatever you feel like, put it there. Obviously, based on the logic and function, what you want that to achieve. So I had that thing in my mind. Yeah, to be honest, I think that's it for this part. Very small, to be honest. It's just a very basic demo. So let's go ahead and save the file. And now we can test our overall and see if we have missed out on any bug in there, so we can fix together. Before going ahead and running, we need to do one more thing, which is styling our HTMLs web page, giving it some style. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So body, let's go to body. So I'm going to set the background to the following color, which is F4. And let's do the nav bar. The border is set to 0, and I'm going to override the existing one, which is to do that in CSS you just put important. And that should do it. And then to navbar, and then default. Background color, set to 3, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and then border color it there. And now to the brand of the nav bar. I'm going to set the color to white. And when it's going to hover, obviously it's going to set some focus into that. So let's go ahead and do that. Duplicate that and set focus. And set the color property. Right, that should do for the nav bar. And let's do the main body, which is our custom season. Set the background. Color to red. I'm going to override the existing one. And do a duplicate, change this to border color. And I'm going to set the text to white. Perfect. And now I'm going to set the color for the panel title to white, so don't want that to be red. So panel title. And set the color to white. Right, that's for the CSS. I hope so. Let's save the file and now we can do the test. So that completes our HTML and CSS. And yeah, let's do the test. So I'll go ahead, hit the play button. Let's copy the URL in the browser. Do the login route. Yep. Let's see. Right. Okay. So we've got all the stuff here. Right. There's some issues over here. Let's take a look. What is the issue? So it's on the branding nav bar. So let's open up nav bar. Oh, okay. So I'm supposed to not put this in a link. This was supposed to be an image, right? Image tag and then the thing. Okay, cool. From this section all the way to the end, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this because I know that's supposed to be the navbar brand here. Silly mistake. Do apologize for that. Navbar brand. And then href. So basically we can set that to like to dashboard for now. And yeah, and then within there, what we're gonna do is take the image tag and paste the, okay, let's do class and then paste it there. Cool. So all I did is just fix that a little bit there. Right, let's go ahead and hit save. Let's close out from here. Let's do the play again. Log in. Authorize. Perfect. So we've got the tag here, but the image, it's got some issues. Cool. Let's take a look. Why is that the case? So let's stop this one. Render user avatar. That should be the case. Render user avatar. CDN. I'm pretty sure it's the same CDN icon slash .png. Right, so we have to actually, we didn't do the URL. Oh, we actually did the URL on the app, right? Over here, CDN. .com/id/avatar.png. Okay. So because I put in space and it's picking up from there. Let's close this one real quick. Then hit save. Again, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But we'll see. Because I don't see why's the reason. It's good we're doing debugging together. So that just don't copy paste working code. Okay, no, that's not the case. So let us go back and debug this one a bit further. This section seems to be fine. Okay, let's take a look. Maybe it's not rendering the image. Oh, okay, cdn.com app.slash. We need to say what is it if it's icon or avatar. I think it's avatars. Let's hit save. So I'm just gonna shut this one down. Just do this. So login route again. Authorize. Perfect. So we've got what we want. So basically the name and the tag and the all of this. This is supposed to be white, I guess. So let me see the CSS real quick. Okay. Navbar. That's fine. So it's a navbar branding. So it's 3 F brand. Yeah, that's an F brand. Not default. Oh, sorry, there shouldn't be a space here. Typos. Let's shut this one. Let's save it again. Let's play again. Let's do login. Authorize. Okay. So I hover over. It's fine, but why is it not going red? Interesting. So this is the color. Oh, where am I looking? So nav bar here, nav bar 03000. That's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's fine. Default nav bar brand. Default brand. Above. 143C. That should be, these are fine. So, yeah, that's white, which is clearly fine. And it's just over here. So let's take a look and debug this bit. So we'll find the issue. To me, it looks okay. I can't seem to see any issues. Maybe browser cache issues. That could be, sometimes it's probably not loaded. Or, but we can try again. So let me go here and paste again and see login. And then authorize. Perfect. So that's good. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So it's sometimes you just have to load again. Basically, it was showing what I had in previously issue. So yeah, that's cool. I'll just close these out. And yeah. So that's it. This is it, guys. So like we said right at the beginning, we're gonna get the username, the avatars, and the name of the servers, and the icons and some buttons. So yeah, this is the end of this. Like I said, this was pretty basic and kind of to get started with something, and then from there you take it and build whatever you required, or whatever your business requirement is. You sort of build this up. So I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you basically found my content useful. And thank you so much for hanging out. And I look forward to seeing you on another tutorial sometime soon. I'm planning on doing some other crash course on a different topic probably. And yeah, stay safe, and thank you, and goodbye.